I am Alysia Lee, and I'm the coordinator of fine arts at the Maryland State Department of Education and an alum of Baltimore County Public Schools. Yes, from kindergarten through 12th grade. And so I am so excited to look at the art. I've selected the 2020 winter exhibition at the Avenue at White Marsh. I love collaborations that involve the community outside of our school buildings. And these are great ways to share artwork with folks as they pass by. And they remind us of the power of art, the power of art education. And it reminds us to make sure that all students have access to arts learning in their public school experience. So bravo. And I'm excited to dive into this K-12 exhibition. Rainbow bird. Alysia, I love this piece. Look at this work. So I'm seeing a very kind of typical bird shape that you would normally see, but the colors and the patterns really set this bird apart. The bird's got tropical coloring, even though they have an more ordinary bird shape like a bird I might see here in my home in Baltimore. I love the stripes of the pattern, the repeated patterns. So I love the stripes on the legs. I love the shapes and the patterns on her body. And of course, I love seeing all these vibrant, bright colors. And I don't know, it makes me feel excited to look at it. It reminds me that ordinary things can have some unique features about them that make them really special. And the piece really speaks to me. Rainbow bird. I like it. Great job. Great job, Alysia. Uh-oh, my zoo. I love it. Wow. So I'm seeing some really great use of background, right? The blue sky in the background, the green bush in the front that lets us know that I'm, as a viewer, maybe I'm just standing right there, right in front of that bush. And wow, the energy from the animals, because they're looking, it's like they're looking when I move to the sides and things. It's like they're looking right at me, which is really cool. What a cool feature of this drawing. I love all the patterns in the animals, the stripes, the vibrant colors, the curvature of the mane. It's a really great picture with a lot of detail. And so congratulations, Claire. Yeah, look at that. They're really staring at me. So it makes me feel like I'm here with the animals at the zoo, in my own personal zoo, which is really nice. Nora, this is wonderful. I love when we use art. Art has so many different ways that we can use art in the world. And one of the ways that we see a lot of professional artists using art is to share a message about the changes that they want to see in the world. So congratulations to this artist who has taken a self-portrait and elevated it to share also their messages with us. Save the planet, save us, be kind, no litter bugs, spread love. These are important messages, and an affirmation up there in the top corner. You shine. Yeah, well, you shine too, Nora. This is really terrific. I love the small detail of the earrings and the hair decoration and how they match. And that Nora has taken great care to make sure she has an expression of excitement, because she's excited to share her message with us. So really great work. Oh, look, here's another of the Say Something project, another work. And it's so great to see these messages. Believe in yourself. You are the best. You are beautiful. You are loved. This is inspiring. It reminds us to remember that positive words of affirmation are really powerful. What does that shirt say? Rainbow makes me smile. Me too. I like rainbows too. So I love seeing this self-portrait. And I think if my eyes tell me right, it looks like the artist is standing behind the portrait and has on the same shirt. The realism. Wow. So what an incredible level of detail this student artist has put into their work. Congratulations, Mirabelle. That's really exemplary. Really cool. Oh, great. Look at this 4th grade self-portrait. How tremendous. Look at all these colors. I'm really drawn to portraits. I'm really drawn to colors, especially self-portraits. I love to see what an artist sees about themselves and what they share with us. And we see so many symbols and this bright use of color around this beautiful and very detailed self-portrait. And I feel like I'm getting to know this artist a little bit, and that's exciting. I like the way that the symbols are kind of floating around the artist. That's really cool and takes on a more kind of fantastical space, right? So we're not in reality per se, but this beautiful color background and these wonderful symbols that mean a lot to this artist are circling them. Really great work, Phoebe. Great job. These are great. Look at those. Look at the texture here. I love this use of the multimedia pieces, right? By adding some 3D pieces. Creates a really cool texture. It's such an interesting piece with all this patchwork of color, right? To create the night sky and the hill made up of all these different shades of green. And just that stark difference from the darkness of night to the beautiful green. Green's my favorite color too. So I really like green. Let's look here at Story Quilt. This is a wonderful, so this reminds me of Faith Ringgold's work. Faith Ringgold is a professional artist that makes quilts, of course, and she's illustrated a few books. And also her work, when it's even separate from a book, often tells a story in the quilt. I love these details in the borders of the quilt, right? We're seeing these images that are connected to the story. We're seeing fish. Ohana means family, which it absolutely does. So inside of a heart, that looks like an ice cream cone. This looks like one of, I don't know, someone's like favorite day ever in the summertime, at a water park, maybe with family. And I like the green and blue squares in the upper corners. It reminds me of the grass and the sky and a beautiful summer day. It's very summery. And so this is a great use of narrative, right? Being able to tell a story with your art. We're seeing so many different ways that student artists in this gallery are using art, right? Using art to spread a message about the change you want to see. That's one way to use art. You can use art to imagine a scene like the zoo, where you want to be, that maybe you can't, because we can't really get that close to wild animals, right? But in your art you can. So you can imagine something that you'd like to do, and you can also remember a beautiful memory or tell a beautiful story about an experience that you really enjoyed. It's like, this is what this is doing, and it's really fabulous. Look at those details in the animals that are up on the shelf. Those are great details. Look at this octopus. This is really fantastic. Very detailed work. Great job, Addison. Great job. Look at all these pieces. So much detail and work goes into the student work, and you can really see that. You can see that students have worked to elevate their work, and that they have an idea, but then they're working to also take their idea and deepen it and clarify it, right? Make sure that it's very clear what they were intending to share. Look at these self-portraits. It's so wonderful to look at self-portraits. Oh, look, some digital art. Great. I know, especially during the closing of school buildings, lots of students are diving into digital art that maybe hadn't before, which is really great as, of course, learning continues and visual art learning continues, that students are using maybe some new materials, right? Thinking a little bit outside the box. That looks like that's what's happening here too. Self-portrait by Isabel, right? Using a brown paper bag and these 3D materials, these flowers. How beautiful to create like a frame around the self-portrait. Really nice use of color. I love yellow, and I like this idea of using more material. We don't always have to use canvas, right? We can use almost anything. Wow, there's so many great pieces. Look at this use of color, pop of color. Yes, I love color. This is really wonderful. and creates a real fun feel. This looks like a real fun place to be. What a great fun still life. Sometimes with still lifes, paintings, when we see them, especially in museums, they're often, the colors are very muted or dark. And so this is really fun to see this fluorescent yellow and pink and purple and blue as a still life. Look at this. Wow. I love being able to see the strokes of pencil. It just adds so much motion to a portrait. And this is really lovely. Self-portraits are so great. It must be so challenging. I'm a musician, not a visual artist, but even as a musician, sometimes it's hard to hear yourself and listen. So I wonder how it feels to be a visual artist and to see your self-portraits and feel like, the same way kind of sometimes people feel like when they hear their own voice on the phone, they're like, oh, my voice. Sometimes it's hard to look at your own self-portrait. And this is a beautiful, beautiful drawing. And I just love seeing all the energy in the drawing. It makes me feel like if I was to run into this person on the street, I would recognize them. I would say, hey, I've seen you before. You're familiar. You look familiar to me. I also love that use of highlight. I love the little tips of white on the nose. Really adds so much dimension. And look at those bangs. Those have got to be the best bangs. Those are the best bangs, right? What great bangs. There's so much texture. They're like chunky, you know what I mean? There's so much texture in there. The sheen on the front. They're just like, it's a great drawing. It's great. Really great. Congratulations, Isabel. Really, really great. Wow. Baltimore County Public Schools continue to be a leader in arts education nationally, statewide, and internationally, really helping students to leverage their experiences and their knowledge to become great student artists. Art is so important. It allows us, wow, look at this one. These self-portraits, it's so unique to see how we portray ourselves, right? This background with words in the background, words that are describing, I would imagine, are describing this artist and who they are. Beauty, intelligence, class, artistic, helpful, organized, understanding, humble, easygoing, considerate. It's a great opportunity then to explore a topic when you're making an art piece, right? When you're making art, dance, theater, music, visual arts. And so when you choose yourself as a subject, it's a great opportunity to really explore yourself and get to know yourself and appreciate all the wonderful things about you. So I love seeing all of these words in the background there. That was really powerful to see all the words that that artist was using to describe who they are. Really great. Oh, I'm so drawn to the color here. Those purple eyes. How fun. My mistakes do not define me. Whoa. Whoa, this is such a powerful lesson. Sometimes it's hard to remember that. But yes, your mistakes do not define you. That is absolutely true. And by creating this artwork and being so vulnerable to share that you've learned this lesson with us, I feel so inspired to remember that my mistakes do not define me. That's right. We define ourselves. And this artist is really showing that. I love this use of this bright yellow against this muted purple color. It's just a beautiful color story. And of course, with the beautiful brown skin, all working together, it's such a it's arresting. You have to stop and look. Really beautiful. Oh, the signature's in purple at the bottom too. I wonder if purple is a favorite color of this artist. How great. Terrific. Really great. This is really phenomenal. These are phenomenal works. Look at that. Yeah, I love seeing work, digital work that has that hand, still has that hand. You can see that hand piece. It looks, the brush marks are clear. It just feels very unique. How wonderful. I'm so glad to see some digital art making it into the space and glad that students are exploring with digital art this year. It's terrific. Wow, look at this looks like a life size. Look at those shoes. Woo. Look at those shoes. Those are some shoes. They also remind me of Beyonce's Coachella shoes. Those are some shoes. So we see some logos here. We see some words. Yeah, broken, empty, shaken. Yeah, those are words that I'm not sure. Like broken, sometimes people think when you're broken, obviously that you're not strong, but ultimately the big label this artist is wearing is survivor. So that lets me know they're finding strength in their struggles, which is really fantastic. I love the idea of the camo print, right, which lets us know there's a struggle, right? This person is a soldier surviving on. And that's very powerful. And look at the scale of this work. I mean, that might even be life size, like true to scale, right? It's so tall, and it's really nice to see that. Very powerful. Photography is such a unique medium because to me, it always allows us an opportunity to celebrate the beauty all around us with our eyes, right? There's all this beauty around us and patterns and shapes lurking, and sometimes we don't notice it because we're moving too fast, but by selecting a moment in time to freeze, a moment in time from the real world even, it just reminds me, look at this. This is absolutely beautiful, this moment, and it reminds me of moments I've had before, right? Being outside at the baseball diamond or at the track near your house or at the school, and this beautiful sky. It's just marvelous. It's just marvelous. And with the darkness of the shadow, it really takes it from a photography place to almost graphic place. Really lovely. Really, really terrific. Skulls. I love skulls. I think they're so beautiful. It's so interesting to see skulls. And look at this still life of these two skulls. The difference between the two of them. The light, the detail. Look at the detail. The cracks, the small cracks in the cranium. Like here, there's one here. I see a little hairline crack there in the drawing. Seeing how thin, like right around here, the bones in your face near your nose, how thin it gets. I feel like I can see like how it gets thinner there. Really interesting. Really interesting. Of course, all in this black and white. And it really highlights then the object that way. Oh, look at those small hairline cracks off to the side. Oh, it's so realistic. It looks so real. And it also there's some abstraction here, right? Because these are powerful. I think the official word for skulls, like as decoration, is memento mori. That's the Latin word for a decoration like this in one's home. Look at the teeth, the little space between the skull and the teeth where gums used to be. Yeah. So fascinating. Wow. I love art. I love seeing. Look at this. Beautiful. Oh, how wonderful. Small little. These are tiny objects. And this detail in them, the color, that blue in the skirt of the little silver charm with the ballet skirt, the variants of blue there. It's just so lovely. It feels, because of the muted tones, it does feel like a memory, which is lovely. It's not a memory that I have, but it feels like a memory, and it really is exciting to look at. Oh, wow. Identity. How unique. I wonder what the message is here. There's some message here. It looks like this person is taking a selfie with their phone, something we do a lot. Something sometimes people say we do too much, maybe, but there's no eyes. They can't see. They can't see themselves. How interesting. We've all felt that way before, where we can't see maybe sometimes the best parts of us. I also love the twists in the hair and the shading on the hair. It's so nice to see just so many different colors in the color black, right? Because her hair is dark. And so sometimes you might see someone draw a dark hair as kind of, different ways, right? But it's nice to see like all those variants of color in her hair. There's white in there. There's tan colors, gray colors. It really makes it feel very alive. I really love that. Wow, what a powerful message. Yeah, peace of mind. Look at that. Whatever you are, be a good one. Oh. Radiant. Fabulous. And look at this, the mouth is covered. Yeah, it's interesting to compare this to the other portrait where the eyes were covered or missing, right? Abomination, overdramatic, flawed, imperfect. Those are the words outside, but inside on the figure, we see radiant, audacious, fierce, beaming, divine. Words that really counteract those negative words on the outside. Very powerful. Very powerful. Yes, so much to learn about each other by seeing our artwork. 2020, that reminds me of 2020. Yeah, this is an epic 2020 picture, right? We're home. We spent a lot more time doing things that are slower activities because we had maybe more time at home, like listening to records, something I enjoy too, but sometimes I don't have time to like sit and listen. The cell phone, the Black Lives Matter shirt, the sun coming through the window. It's all very lovely, and this will always. Anytime I would see this picture in the future, I would always think, "Was this in 2020? Did you take this in 2020?" It's very, it's a great title for it. Powerful, the amount of detail, the shading, the creases, the point of view, really lovely. Alter ego. Whoa, look at this color story. This golden hue, this joyful person. There's something else in there. There's an alter ego in there. Yeah. Who has no color. Oh, look at that. Devoid of color. How powerful. The joy on one side. Just all these opposites, right? Bright, vibrant colors. One side, no color. Just black and white, right? Just shade and white on one side. More vibrant, joyous nature on the outside. And obviously that alter ego is it's not happy. Yeah, really great. These self-portraits are so interesting. They're so telling. Beautiful. That looks like Baltimore County to me. When I think of Baltimore County and where I grew up in Randallstown, I think of the creeks and small kind of coveted little places where as young people we go and play that feel a little bit untouched by industry, I guess. And it's really lovely. And that looks very much like when I think of home. Paradise. Right, Declan? Yeah, that is paradise. It is paradise. I love this bow. Very nice. Well, I am so grateful to be able to take some time out of my day to look at the art. I am Alysia Lee, and I look at BCPS art. This was wonderful. Thank you so much.